We're back with another Loveless Marriage. Another on this Monday evening. My name is Carl Butler. For those of you all who may be tuning in for the first time, here with my wife, Miss.
Hi, I'm Ebony Butler.
All right,
Sorry, y'all.
and so we're coming to you with another Loveless Marriage. We appreciate everyone who tunes in week after week, episode after episode. I believe this is episode 13 tonight. Episode 13, and as you can see on our title screen, we're going to be talking about tonight. You can't wear that. You can't wear that. So
Are you going to go over the housekeeping rules or can I talk?
yeah, I'll do it real quick. So also we want you to follow us on social media right there in the middle. As you see, the Loveless Marriage. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So please follow us across all social media platforms. We also want you to subscribe and share this video as you're coming in. So as you're coming in, we want you to like and share the video and on YouTube, our YouTube channel, The Loveless Marriage. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Um, Once again, we are, where am I at? Yeah. So The Loveless Marriage. We're back on another Monday evening.
And sorry, we are inviting people in, so we're not trying to be rude
Yeah.
to you all. But I would like to say, on behalf of myself, and for those of you that don't know the little baby butler that's growing inside, I apologize for not going live last week. My mama called me on Tuesday to tell me that her friends were mad because they didn't have an episode to watch. So, friends of my mother, I am so sorry. I was tired and I was extremely sleepy, and I don't think you all would have enjoyed anything that I had to say last week. So, I ask that you all be patient with me, even though I've been pregnant before. It's different when you're almost 40 and you have four kids and you work an hour and 15 minutes from your house and you're hungry and you're tired. So
Yeah.
please be patient with me. But I promise that we will definitely be back. So
Yeah.
nice
And
to
so,
see y'all. I did miss you guys.
yeah. And so she even suggested I do it by myself.
I
I
sure
said,
did.
how am I going to do The Loveless Marriage by myself?
He could have had a men's day. It could have been, talk about your wife day. I would have been okay with it. But
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
my feelings would have not been hurt.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. So she says. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight once again. Our title, look at our title screen, is You Can't Wear That. So The Loveless Marriage, you can't wear that. We're going to be discussing tonight, is it okay to tell your spouse what to wear, what they can and cannot wear?
Hey fam, and the reason why we're discussing this, so let me just say this, as we say to you guys every week on Monday or even during the week, if you ever have any topics that you want us to discuss, or if you've brought it up between your single married friends or an argument that you may have had with your husband and wife and y'all want our opinion, drop it in our inbox. So one of our followers kind of asked us, so we thought it was a good question to ask, and maybe we'll pose it to even you all to ask. I would say, I don't know if we should leave our opinion for last, but
Yeah, we'll just,
kind of leave our opinion.
yeah.
I think it's funny because when you're a little bit younger, I'll say this, I think certain things you become a little bit pliable and a little bit more bendable. As you get a little older, I would say you get stuck in your ways.
Stubborn.
A little stuck and stubborn in your ways. So I will say that. So it's funny. I will bring up this. I know when Carl and I were, we weren't even like officially dating. I guess we were just trying to fill each other out, and we were at my cousin's birthday party. By the way, happy birthday, Miss Damaris.
Yeah, happy birthday, Damaris.
And she had a rooftop party. And again, like I said, Carl and I were not dating. I guess we were just trying to fill each other out. And I had a cute little romper. I wish we could have put the picture on the screen. But I had a little cute little romper on, and my hair was blowing in the wind, and I was looking fabulous. And yes, it was church people, but we were having a good time. It was a good, clean party. Carl was there. That was his first time actually even going out. And we had talked about it afterwards because again, it was a short romper. I'm a single older woman. I was slender, and I'm still slender. I'm a little thicker now, but I was slender at the time, so it was not like revealing. It didn't look nasty or anything like that. And his comment to me after we got married was, if we were married, I wouldn't have let you wear that. I said, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We can converse about what you would and would not like me to wear. But to say that was a little strong. So we joked and laughed about it. He did give me his reasoning for, as a man, they say they don't want everybody looking at their wife. So, but he couldn't say anything because we were just acquaintances. So, I guess moving forward, God willing, I get that small again, I think I have to retire the outfit. But I think that, to be honest, I will say this, I guess, to throw my little 2 cents in. I think that your spouse, in some situations, in some instances, if you looking crazy, if you looking a hot mess, I think that they do have a right to say something about your appearance.
Yeah.
I think it's some levels to this thing. I don't believe it should be controlling, domineering. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think it should be because I have heard, and I do know some females that she dressed one way when she was single, and it wasn't she was looking trashy or nasty, but when they got married, she turned into, I guess, the woman of how he wanted her to look like. And that can be a little, in some cases, disheartening, especially if you strip a person from being what they once were, and now you're trying to conform them into what you want them to be. So I guess, hold on, our sister Aisha said, has she worn it since then, Carl? First of all, Aisha,
nope, she ain't.
Nope, I haven't, because I'm a little thicker now, and right now it would not be appropriate. So that's why I can't wear it now. But if I find a larger size and it looks body proportion wise, we'll pray about some things.
Ain't nothing to pray about. You ain't got to go to God for that answer. I'll give you the answer. Nope. Ain't nothing to pray about.
So I guess we got to ask, Elder Deacon Brother Carl, how do you feel about that?
I look at it like this. When you're single, you do things to attract people. Some outfits we wear, men and women, but mainly women, because, men, we wear no outfits to attract people. But
yes, y'all do.
I mean, yeah, we do, but it's more, I think that's more on the female side.
I be wearing those tight, skinny jeans looking all nasty. I'm sorry.
So, so you do things to attract people.
Right.
I think that if you wear the same thing or if you do the same thing, once you're in a relationship, you're going to attract that same attention. Like, what we wear attracts attention. People want to say it doesn't, but it does. If you need help, you're going to look for somebody wearing what? A police officer uniform. If no, seriously, if my house is on fire, the firefighter better pull up with his uniform on. You can't come in the jeans and t-shirt and say, "Hey, I'm here to fight your fire." Like, you don't look right. If he got the
truck, he can come in.
But you don't look right. Even your server at the restaurant, if they come up to your table with sweatpants and a t-shirt on, you're like, "Can I get somebody else?" Because what we wear says a lot about our title or our role. And I think it's the same way when you're married and single. This is the honest to God truth. When I was single, I could look at a woman and tell if she was married or single by what she had on. Right. Because some outfits you wear to attract, but then once you have attracted someone, I just don't think it's proper to still wear that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not a dictator. I don't go through her closet like, you're not wearing this, you're not. No, but it's just the fact that we have to rely on our common sense sometimes and say, I can't do that because I'm not single anymore. Even, some ways you entertain people, while you're just talking to them in conversation. It's one thing if you're a single lady and you're talking to a guy and you place your hand on his shoulder and, you're trying to get that attraction, but let me be there. And my wife is talking to a guy and she's all, I'm like, yeah. So it's certain things you do to attract people that I just think that once you're married or in a relationship, that you can't still do. And like even the outfit in question, it wasn't a bad outfit.
I wish we had a picture because that outfit was cute. Anybody that was at Damaris's birthday party can attest. I should have pulled it off of Instagram, but
We never said it wasn't cute.
it
I'm
was
just saying
cute.
it.
And I look cute for a single girl.
You did for a single girl,
I did.
but I think it's improper for a married woman to wear.
Okay.
That's my opinion. And so
It is.
I'm just I'm just one of these people who I say what I mean and let the chips fall where they
Let them
may.
fall, boo. Let them fall. Shake it up. Throw it out.
No, that's one of the things my dad taught me. He said, as a man, you can say what you want to say as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences of what you say. And I'm just willing to deal with the consequences. So it is what it is. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just think, just like even with me, there are certain things you do as a man when you're single that puts it out there. I'm single. There's a certain way you carry yourself.
Such as
Like, okay, my thing is fragrance, colognes. There are some colognes I used to wear that the silliest of it was a magnet. And it's true. If you're in the fragrance community, you understand that certain scents you wear to attract. But when I'm in a relationship, I'm not trying to attract anyone anymore. And so most of the scents I wear now hang close to my skin. In other words, if you want to smell me, you're gonna have to be close to me. So I'm not trying to attract. I'm trying to impress the one I'm with. I guess I'm trying to make sure that I smell good for my wife, because smell is a heavy attractor.
right.
And the same thing with clothes or anything else. And so I just think you have to, I don't know, I guess you just have to know the boundaries of what to wear and what not to wear.
And I'll read this, and I guess I was going to transition to this into even, I would say, knowing boundaries. One of our followers put presentation matters. And secondly, too, I believe a lot of it has to do with your role, too. So I'll say this, being in the church world, because that's where Carl and I function. Of course, we have life outside of here in the business world, but in the church world, I think there is a certain expectation that people have, whether it be right or not right, of how and I want to be about to be churchy real quick, about how a minister's wife is supposed to present herself. Thus, as well as a man of God, there's a certain look that we deem as what a quote unquote man of God is supposed to present themselves. And I've seen recently too over social media that a lot of people are like kind of starting to get into it about, about the more contemporary relaxed styles of, some churches do the jeans and t-shirts all the time versus the suit and tie getting dressed up. So there's been a big controversy even over that. And I honestly think that somewhat does relate even to talk about what, with your husband and spouse, where not just to church, but just out in public, because like we were talking about, presentation is everything. My mom posted on here and said, I've seen ministers wear tight suits preaching. What do we think about that? I have seen some ministers, I'll just say this, in form-fitting suits. And I'm a woman and he's a man, so no offense. And I've seen some bad women that preached the house down. Her suit was tight and fitted, and I'm like, she is giving us the business. She is wearing us out. And I think certain outfits can be a distraction.
Yeah.
And that's just the honest to God's truth. And we've all seen it. I've seen men that have had very fitted suits, to the fact of even looking at the pants, and you can almost see the imprint of their personal region. And when you preach, or even it's crazy. I've known of people that when they minister, sometimes they get excited and they could get an erection. I know it sounds crazy, but it happens. Or women, when they sing, their nipples it's crazy. I know people like, you're lying, but it's not. I've seen everything. And if you've been in church, you've seen everything. So I think there are certain distractions. I also think that we, as I'm just going to say the body of Christ, because I'm just going to talk about it, We need to be conscious of what we wear, because when we step on the platform, people are looking at us. And I am I'm a strong believer in wearing foundational garments underneath. If you know your stuff jiggles and wiggles, and you have amber waves of grain, and you have oceans of rivers, and you have, I mean, I have cellulite, I've got cottage, I have children, I have the imprints. I don't like the way it looks on myself. And this is just me. So everybody can have their own separate opinion. I don't like the way it looks on myself. So I don't want to impose my wrinkles and my jiggling on whoever I may come across. I want my stuff tight and right. Because one thing I always, my mom and my dad and my aunts have always taught me, when you walk out of that door, you are a representation of your house. And not only am I a representation of my house, but when people see me, they see my husband. And I don't want them to see me, even if they've seen me thousands of times. If they see me for the first time, I want them to know that this man done married a woman that looks good. Like, I want them, the first thing I want them to be like, she's a very attractive woman, and she looks good for having 4 kids and then 1 on the way. And that's just me. And I know I might get some slack for it, but it is a very hard thing. And I will say it. To me, it is very hard. It's hard for me to focus if you're ministering, if your stuff is too tight, if your stuff is jiggling, if your stuff is flying everywhere, if you not looking clean, neat, and well put together. It is hard for me to focus on Jesus. And I know people say we shouldn't get caught up in that distraction, but it is a distraction. It is a huge distraction. It's a distraction if I see you as a man and your pants is tight and I can see the imprint of, your penis in your pants. It's a distraction. And you can't get mad at people when they tell you, you might, brother, I'll say this, there's nothing wrong. I like to see a man in a very nice, well-tailored fitted suit. I love to see my husband dressed up in a very nice, well-tailored fitted suit, but he ain't coming out of the house with no skinny pants. That's just what we not doing.
'Cause I'm fat.
And if you want to be, and I'll just say this across the board, if you want to be received, you have to pay attention to what you wear. The videos, the pictures, the screenshots don't lie. And you cannot get mad. I know I'm kind of going on a little tangent, but you got something to say too, whatever. You cannot get mad as a single woman if you are in the pulpit and you are preaching, slaying it, which you can be preaching and slaying it, but your outfit is so tight that everybody is looking at you in your tight outfit and they're not focusing on the word that you can be delivering, because you can have a powerful message, but it get lost by the way you look. And the same deal for a man. You cannot get mad at us if we just like, dang, you pretty, and I'm just looking at you and you were slaying it, but dang, like if all I'm thinking about is your outfit and how you slaying it, something's wrong.
So
I'm done.
No, she's not. So I kind of
thank you, Justine.
I kind of look at it like this. On the Cosby Show years back, I think it was Sandra married Elvin, and she had brought him home. She didn't tell her parents. No, Denise, was it one of his girls? Started dating somebody new, and they was engaged, got married, and she brought him home. He was a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. He was, he owned his own business, had his own house. A really nice guy. And so Dr. Huxtable and his wife didn't like him just because of how their daughter just brought him home.
Right.
And so Dr. Cosby and the guy went outside, and the guy was like, "No, why don't you like me?" He took the lid of a trash can. If anybody remember this episode, he took the lid of a trash can, and he said, "Imagine a ribeye steak, nice 12-ounce ribeye steak. It's juicy, it's cooked just right, medium well, whatever you like. That's you. You're Vanessa. Thank you. That's you. You're that ribeye steak. But what my daughter did, she took that ribeye steak and put it on the lid of this trash can and presented it to us and said, here, eat this." And so a lot of times we want to think that presentation doesn't matter. Presentation matters. And a lot of times, a lot of these preachers, you know what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with having a nice form-fitting suit.
Right.
But when you can see every muscle if you move wrong, the suit gonna pop.
You popping.
Like
you popping.
Like, ain't nobody hating on you. Ain't nobody. But presentation matters.
Right.
Because you have to come off a certain way to not be a distraction to those who are trying to hear the word.
Right.
Same thing with women. You can't wear what you want to wear and then act like ain't nobody getting with me. No, we can't focus because
We thinking about other stuff about you.
because we see your cup size. We know what kind of underwear you got on. Like we can
Ooh,
see the
Jesus.
lining. Like you have to understand that presentation matters. So if you don't believe me, not one of y'all will go to a job interview in sweatpants. Not one of y'all go to a job interview in jeans because you know the uniform you need to wear. And so if we know this in the business world,
Right.
if we know this in the church world, why is it different when it comes to relationships? Like, why would you put yourself in a position to go out and be heckled by guys or women with your spouse right there? Because that's going to put them in a very defensive position
Right.
to where now they have to defend you. And so I just think that some of this stuff isn't rocket science. It's not calculus. It's not geometry. It's basic math. It's 2 plus 2 equals 4. And so you ain't gotta. It is remedial math. And so
Right.
I don't know. I just think that we have to understand that how you present yourself. I've always been the purpose merchant. I didn't know the name of it. I've always talked about purpose. But when I got married, and we'll transition into this, when I got married, I used to dress a certain type of way. Now on Sunday I would dress up, and I've always liked to wear suits.
I can't wait to talk about this.
But no, you're not gonna talk about it. But
Wrong.
like I would wear just jeans and a t-shirt, or sweats and a t-shirt, or just shorts, and it was I'm like, okay, why aren't people flocking to me or receiving me? Because you could talk about purpose, or you could talk about whatever your field is, but if you don't present yourself right, we shut you down immediately. If I go to the bank and I need a loan, I need $1 million loan for my business, and the loan officer I'm talking to has on sweatpants and a t-shirt, I'm not entertaining you. I'm like, can I get somebody else? Can I speak? I need someone who looks like they know what their job is. And so we have to be the same way in relationships, how we present ourselves. A lot of women are single because you're dressing like you want to remain single. Like a lot of women are single because you're dressing like you just want to be single. Now, when you start carrying yourself better, the man is going to notice you. Like I noticed Ebony, there were many women I could have noticed or did notice, but I noticed her because of how she carried herself. Before we had one conversation, before she spoke one word to me, I noticed how she carried herself. She didn't carry herself like she just came from the club and had to go home and rush and come to church. Like it matters how you carry yourself. And so you have to be cognizant of that. And you have to govern yourself. Like you have to govern yourself accordingly.
These are the Sunday announcements. Please govern
For real.
yourself accordingly. So I'm going to read some comments. And again, thank you all for just tuning in. I knew we lost a little bit of people. Hopefully we didn't offend y'all, but sorry, the truth hurts sometimes. But invite your friends to come in and follow us. But Miss Justine says, well, in my profession, I have candidates that show up for job interview in shorts, jeans, showing everything. The sad part is they know. The sad part is that they don't know any better. And that's sad.
Yeah.
Because I would just think that if you want a job, you would just know, and you know what, I'll say this, even if only thing you have is like a nice button-up shirt like Carl has on and a pair of slacks and some loafers, I could even respect you if you show up in that. Like, you might not have any nice khaki pants, but it's sad today that you want a job and you're not even dressing to even make an attempt to get the job. You got to look the part. And I know, and somebody even said that on here, Tibria said it does matter. You represent your brand and you are your own brand. And Tibria also said that your spirit will check you. You just gotta listen. If you're having to second guess what you have on, then you probably don't need to wear it. Justine also said, my husband is not leaving the house in sweatpants either. That's right.
But to just what Tibria just said, it's funny because I ride around all day, and the weather is starting to warm up a little bit. So as soon as the weather warm up, short shorts come out, and it's funny to see women walking down the street because the whole time they're walking, they're tugging at their shorts. I'm like, listen, if you knew that was too short, if you have to continuously tug and pull and adjust, you can't even walk for like 2 seconds because you just have to always adjust. Maybe it's just not for you. And the thing is that you have to be real with yourself. Listen, every day I look in the mirror and I get on that scale and I see how much I weigh. I'm 6'2", 260-ish in that range.
Ish.
So I know when I go to the store and I see a suit that says slim, I can't wear that suit.
Depending on the maker.
And if I try to get in that suit and think I look good, I'm deceiving myself.
Depending on the maker.
Listen, like let's have a real conversation. You have to, somebody just put Sharon McWell, get your right size. You got to get your size. Stop buying.
Size matters.
Stop buying for what you're going to lose weight for. Buy your size. Stop deceiving yourself. It's crazy because we see people dress crazy all day long. And first thing we asked ourselves was, did they look in the mirror? Yes, they did.
Or did anybody tell them?
And in their mind, they said, I look good. But listen, man, especially when it's your spouse, you got to be real with your spouse. When they put something on and be like, babe, that color don't look good on you.
Right.
Like you're a darker skin, you're a fairer skin. Hot pink might not look good on a darker skin. Like, I don't wear it. So, certain colors, certain shirt colors, certain suit colors, I don't wear because I'm a darker skinned person and it's not going to look right on me. You have to have people around you that's going to be honest with you and say, listen, maybe that's just not for you. And so, I don't know, man. I just think that you have to have a spouse that can honestly speak the truth to you, and then you can't be offended by that truth. You have to be prepared to say what you've been doing for years.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't working for me. Like maybe that wasn't my style. Maybe that wasn't what I should have been wearing. You know, maybe I've been looking crazy all these years. And then when you find out you've been looking crazy, you look at your friends like, why didn't y'all say something? And so that's the first thing you say in your mind.
They're not your friends. They don't like
you look at your friends, you look at the people you've been going out with for years, and you say, why didn't y'all say something? Y'all had me out here looking crazy. So yeah, man, just.
And I'll say this too, and which is a funny thing, but and we always talking about, like I said, Carl's the purpose merchant. Wow, y'all lighting it up on this today. I believe that the person that you're connected with or your person that you're trying to attract, they sometimes can see where you're heading. And you may not see, where maybe God has for you. But if the person that you're with, if they can see it, then you might want to pay attention. Like Carl, like Carl said, when I first met him, when I first saw him, I saw him in a suit. I did not know who he was. I didn't know his name, but instantly I was sitting next to my good friend Aisha, and I was like, he a preacher. I didn't know he was a preacher. I just looked at him and said, he's a preacher. I didn't even talk to him that night. The second time he came again to the church, then I guess it was told like, oh, he's a preacher. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But then when he would come to Bible study, like he said, he would have on this Georgia Bulldog or LSU sweatshirt, hoodie, and jeans. And I would just be looking like, come again? But I didn't care, of course, because I wasn't dating him. He wasn't my man, so I didn't care. But as we got to know each other and as I began to talk to him and as, I don't want to say God gave me insight, but, God can give you insight. I began to talk to him, hey, you might have to change up certain things. And I guess that you have to also be comfortable in yourself to say, you know what, if this person is genuine and they truly care about me, they're not going to let me walk out looking woozy. If they care about me, they're going to help me become better. The person that you with should help you become better. The person that you should with if I'm not going to say step up your game, but some people, honestly, when they meet certain people and they connect with certain people, their game does get stepped up because they have to realize I can't keep wearing hoodie and sweatshirt if I know God has called me to something greater. Even if you're not even preaching yet, honey, put the nice slacks on, put the button up shirt. Prepare yourself now, because if you're not dressing the part now, however you look around the house, like I could wear wife beater and sweatpants around this house. It does not matter. Why? Because I'm in the comfort of my own home. But if I know guest is coming over, I will probably put on something a little bit more appropriate. But when you step out that door, you have to know that we're representing each other. Mm-hmm. And if you are trying to attract a certain kind of clientele, if you are trying to attract a certain type of level of ministry, or even, where you might want to go, because you never know. Like my mama always tells me, which is crazy, you never know when you could be entertaining an angel. You could bump into somebody at a coffee shop. They see you looking nice, well dressed. That could be the CEO of a company that you may have wanted to get a job with, but your application for whatever reason keeps getting pushed to the back. Yeah. And they see you and they're like, hey, you are nice. You talk to the young lady or young man at the register. Nice. What do you do for a living? Where do you see yourself? I mean, I've had conversations. I've met people, and doors have opened just because of how I've presented myself. Even when it was funny, like even sometimes at church, people be like, you must be an executive assistant. And I would laugh and I'm like, well, how do you know? They'd be like, how you dress. And even sometimes I may not have been working in that job, but that's where I wanted to go. And I remember one time I had a mentor, and I still have the same mentor, and they sat down and told me, and it hurt my feelings at first, and I kind of like bucked against the system. But they told me, if you want to move up in the level of ministry where God has called you to, just not in church, but your life, the people that you attract, the circles that you want to go in, you need to change the way you dress. Mm-hmm. Because you look nice and you look passable, but that's not going to get you into the doors you need to get open to. They broke it down to me as far as, and this might sound crazy, and to some other person, they're trying to control you. They broke it down to me as far as even my fingernail polish and the length of my nails. Yeah. And it's some things that you would never think about, but they broke it down to me. And I had to honestly, like I said, it hurt my feelings at first, and I bucked against what they said, but then I had to sit and I had to think, like, I don't want to be looked at as, oh, that's just another girl that looks like that. I wanted to get certain attention, like Carl spoke about. There was certain attention that I wanted to get because there's certain doors that I wanted to go into. And I will say that too, as a young woman or a young man, if you know that there's certain doors that you want to go into, mm-hmm. and your friends or family may say, oh, you letting up people trying to change you. Honey, change is good sometimes. Yeah. Change is good, because there are certain people that I believe God places in your path that can pull things out of you that you don't even know that's in there, because they see certain things, and God has given them a certain eye to be able to identify, and they can speak into your destiny because they see where you're going. No offense, as a minister's wife, I can't come into a minister's wife's meeting with a mini skirt on. I'm not going to do that with my boobs hanging out and talking about, yes, my husband is Elder Carl Butler. They're going to be like, look at this girl. Has anybody not trained her right? And as mean as it may seem, that's the harsh reality. Yeah. People say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do it every day.
Yeah, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to stop for a little advertisement. We're going to get back to y'all comments. We'll come back and talk. Yes, this is Facebook Live. We are reading y'all live comments. And we'll be right back in like 60 seconds. So your audience is ready for professionally produced Facebook Live videos. I am the Facebook Live specialist, Carl Butler. I want you to set yourself apart from the thousands of other Facebook Live videos. What you see there on the screen are actual Facebook Live videos that are produced right here in Butler Studios. If you want to get in contact with me, please call 678-471-2214 or my email, carlebutlerjr@gmail.com. Website is cebutler.org, cebutler.org. All right, so we're back after our little advertisement. And yes, this is a Facebook Live video. I do have the capacity to produce your professional looking Facebook Live video. And so even going back to presentation, 2 points I wanted to make. Number one is when you present yourself, and for those of us who are in the church world, I appreciate that. Justine, she said, this is dope. Great advertisement. And so I appreciate, number one, when you're in the church world, there is church attire, but church attire may not be business attire.
Right.
Business attire is normally navy suit, gray suit, black suit sometimes, brown, a lighter brown suit. But in the church, you can't go into the business world with the two-tone shirt and the white collar and the like. Sometimes
you can, depending.
Sometimes you can
Know your audience,
but not. The shirt got polka dots and the collar. You got the double collar. That's not business attire. So you have to know how to present yourself
right,
in the business world. I have shirts that I just wear to church. I have suits that I only wear to church. Right. And then I have 1 button, 2 button business suits. If your suit has more than 2 buttons, it might not be a business suit. Church suits, you have 13 buttons. I don't have no 13 buttons suit. I'm just saying though,
like a Detroit player.
But you have to. We're talking about dress and presenting yourself.
Right.
You have to know where and how to wear. Even women. I'll let Ebony speak to that. But my second point was what you're seeing right now, the Facebook Live, the background and the microphones and the lights, what you're seeing right now, the whole production and the changing screen, I'm going to change the screen behind us, is also representation of where I want to go.
Right.
I'm not going to wait until we get 1,000 followers. No, I'm going to give you my best right now. I'm going to give you our best right now because it represents where I want to go. I want to own my own video studio one day. And so I want to produce talk shows and podcasts and webinars. I want to produce these things. So it goes back to your presentation. When you go and somebody put up on the screen earlier about how I believe it was Justine, how some people come in
right, and
because it's just I was about to say T-Mobile, because it's just Boost Mobile, I think. Justine, correct me if I'm wrong, but just because it's a cell phone store,
right,
they say, "Oh, I'm just wearing jeans and a t-shirt." No, come in and present yourself
like the store manager,
like you want to be the store manager one day,
right,
like you want to franchise a store one day. Don't just come in and say, "Oh, it's just a salesperson position." Oh, all I'm gonna be doing is stocking phones. No, I don't care if you're going for a job interview at McDonald's.
Right.
Go in a navy suit, nice tie, nice shirt, nice shoes. Make sure the suit is fitted, because instantly you tell them, I don't want to just flip burgers.
Right.
I want to be a manager. Right. Your presence speaks before you even open your mouth.
That's right.
And that's what I do all the time. All the time, whatever room I go in, I've learned this. Your presence has to speak before you even open your mouth. And so that's what you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to let your presence, let your dress speak for you before you even open your mouth.
And I will, Justine, I'm going to kill you. But I will also say this, and I know we've walked into the church world, but I guess to me, this conversation works both ways.
I'm sorry. Kim, I appreciate it. I'm waiting on you. Go ahead.
And yes, Justine will give you a shameless plug at the end. She said, you're right. Switch to Boost Mobile and get your phone for free. Come see me. Goodbye, Justine.
Hey, Justine, comment your store. Put your store in the comments so people can come
so
see
they
you.
can come see you. But I will say this as well. Like I was talking about earlier, like you are a reflection of your spouse. You should want to, when people see you, to think positively of you. You should want that good, first impression. And I will say this, it doesn't take a lot of money to look nice. Mm-hmm. I am the queen of bargain shopping. I can find a man a suit and a tie and some shoes, all that look nice, for under $100. Trust me, I have the power. I have the ability. I can do the same thing for women too. It's about, of course, like our good friends just said on here, as well. And I'm going to backtrack real quick. She said, Andrea said, just because they make it in your size doesn't mean you need to wear it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's true. Just be certain things, you have to know your body type and the way you look. And I joke about it a lot on our podcast, and I say it even down to your hair. Everybody on here knows I wear wigs. My hair is short. Sometimes I want to be have short hair. Sometimes I want to have long hair. It's whatever. But I even have to be, as a woman, accepting if my husband tells me, Ebony, that wig don't look nice on you. And I might not want to hear it. And I might be like, okay, I'm going to still wear it anyway because I want to look like this. But even at that, and I know it sounds stupid and ridiculous, but my husband cares enough to tell me, baby, you need to wear the short wig or you need to wear the long wig. I mean, I even ask my kids. It's like a running question. I'll take pictures, whatever. But presentation matters down to how you look, even. And sometimes I'm bad for this myself with my nails. Sometimes I've let my nails go 3 weeks without getting done. And I talk with my hands. I work with my hands all day. And there are certain things that I even know that I got to do better in. So I will say this. Sometimes you have to take a self-inventory and say, okay, you know what, God? And I used to pray and ask God, like, God, show me good places to go because right now I don't have the money to go into the White House black market like I was accustomed to doing. You know, Lord, show me places where I can go to get good discounts. And my mom used to joke and say, she used to sit in the car and she used to pray and say, God, this is how much I have to spend. I need you to open up some doors when I walk in this store that everything I need, you'll be able to supply it. And it does work. It sounds cuckoo. It sounds crazy. But I believe if you are honestly trying to put your best effort, God will meet you. God will match you right where you are. And God will even, even been sitting in church, even for my kids. And I'm like, okay, God, you know, I got these girls and I need some clothes because I don't have a certain amount of money until this time. And I've had people come up to me like, see me after church. I got a bag of clothes in my trunk and it'll be exactly what I need. So I believe not just for yourself as it does with your spouse, but even as your family, like appearance matters. I know we talk about Black Lives Matters and everything else. Appearance does matter. Like Carl said, even for a woman and even for a man, it could even be to the extent of putting you into position to even find that woman or man, because the Bible does say, you know, when a man finds a wife, he findeth a good thing. And men are visual, just like women are visual. They look at us first, then they make assessments, whether it be good, bad, or ugly. But, and I'll say this, and this is probably about to hurt some people's feelings, but I'm not trying to do it. You can be in holiness and still be pretty. You don't have to look homely. You don't have to dumb yourself down. Now, if you don't like to wear makeup, it's okay. You don't have to wear makeup, but it's okay if you put some enhancements on. Now, I will say this. Please don't put eyelashes on that makes you look like you got roaches on your eyes. I hate that. I just think it's not a natural look.
I'm done.
Look, you go sit here and be quiet. Hold on. You do not have to wear eyelashes that make you look like you got roaches on. You can have nice, natural looking eyelashes. You can have nice, natural looking makeup and still be presentable. Women, it is okay if you carry yourself with a little extra oomph. And Carl can attest to this because we have talked about this and we've laughed and joked about it. There is no man, unless something is really wrong with him, that wants a homely looking wife.
I ain't gonna say that because a lot of guys do.
Jesus.
I ain't gonna say that. So every man different. I ain't
Every man,
that.
yes, is different. But there's a man, whatever man that God has for you, he wants to be attracted to you. I guess that's what I'm saying. And like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with, honey, I love my long maxi dresses. Hallelujah. I'm about to go buy some more at the end of this week. There's nothing wrong with having a certain appearance about yourself. There's nothing wrong with keeping up yourself, but you can still be a child of God and look nice. And you don't have to have your clothes overly tight in order to impress a man, because he's going to be thinking, is her clothes always going to be like this?
Yeah.
Is she always going? Is it, you might accidentally sing one Sunday and you catch the spirit and your friend might come out. It's happened. I worked the altar. I've held up sheets for people whose body parts and hair wigs done fell off before. It happens. We just got to you just have to really think about, what are you advertising? What are you putting out there? Carl reading the comments and laughing.
I want to read Selena's. Selena, we forgot about you. We see. Going back, she said, as a mother, I do not feel right wearing certain things. I mean, everybody, like,
Oh, thank you.
at some point, you should have a conviction that, like, your kids are looking at you. And so she also says, my husband won't let me go to the store with him if I'm looking crazy, as he says.
Right.
Listen, man, like, we are representations of our spouse. If Emily goes somewhere looking crazy, and I didn't tell her that she looking crazy before she left the house, they're going to be like, that's Carl's wife.
Right.
Like, if I go somewhere looking crazy, if I go to a business meeting and I'm in jeans and a basic shirt, they're gonna be like, isn't that Ebony's husband? I thought he was the purpose merchant. I thought he was real estate. I thought, and so you have to. Who's that? I'm advertising my phone. And so, yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Like,
Alex. You're so stupid.
And so you have to present yourself, man, like, for where you have to carry yourself right. Like, just, what doesn't fit. If you had to struggle to button it up, you had to lay down and suck everything in,
It's
just
called
to
the
zip it up.
It's called the suck and tuck
I mean,
ministry.
come on, like,
Suck and tuck.
this ain't no Drake song. You ain't jumping up and down trying to try to fit yourself in them jeans. And I mean, come on, like, y'all know what y'all doing. Like, y'all know how y'all look before y'all leave the house. So, and if you don't know, you need to have some real friends around you. Have some real people around you. And like, listen, don't lie to me. Don't spare my feelings.
Right.
Does this look good on me? Like, does this, before you leave the house, in that tight skirt, look in the mirror, turn around and see if you see any dimples and
panty
like,
lines and
panty
all
lines, like all that stuff, man. Like, for men, if them pants too tight, if you can see your junk, like, y'all know what y'all be doing too.
Your junk.
See your junk. And so, like, come on, man. Let's just use a little bit of, like I said, this isn't geometry. It's not calculus. It's not math. This is remedial math. So it's easy. It's not hard to get it right.
So I will say this. Yes, I think it is okay for your spouse to have somewhat of an input of what you look like. I'm not saying that they should rule with the wrought iron fist and they hold on, I'm sorry, somebody popped a question. They shouldn't rule with the wrought iron fist and they shouldn't be a dictator like, you're not going to wear this, you're not, because okay, we're all adults and certain conversations need to be talked about before. And I also think on another note that some people think, okay, well, she dresses like this now or he dresses like this now. When I get married to them, I'm going to change them. Let me help you. Save yourself getting your feelings hurt. If you know this is how they're going to dress, don't always automatically assume that they're going to change. Because you're stupid. I'm sorry. You're stupid to think that. This person is of their own free mind, body, and soul. They can do whatever they want to. Now, if you want them to take your feelings into consideration, absolutely. You have those discussions. But certain times you need to know. Again, like I said, Carl and I are older. I'm 39. He's 36. When you get past a certain age level, your level of pliability to change is a little bit different. So if you know that they're not pliable enough to change where, hey, you know where I'm going, where I'm seeing myself, that might not be somebody that might be for you. I mean, it might hurt your feelings. They could have all the qualities and stuff that you're looking for. But if they are very strong in their stats of I'm not changing, you're not changing me, hang it up. That's one battle that you're going to lose. And also, I will say this too, because I did say earlier, certain women and men use that tool to manipulate too, because there are certain men and certain women too that don't want their spouse to get dressed up because they are afraid that somebody else is going to see them and then they're going to like them and then they're going to get drawn away. Yeah. So that's a whole spirit of manipulation and control right there. That's on some other levels of stuff.
And I agree. Justine, Sharon, and Tibria all said the same thing. They said this. Listen, whenever I see a woman outside in her bonnet, I say she just done gave up on life. Like she,
She
like,
gave up on
like
life.
she does not care.
She
Listen,
gave up.
you do not want to
Right.
fight a chick that's wearing a bonnet because she don't care. And I was just playing. No, but I'm really not playing. No, but for real though, man. Like I do hate this as a man. That's really not attractive. Like if you're single and you're trying to find somebody. Now listen, if you married, sometimes married people we carry ourselves in a way where we ain't trying to attract nobody, so it is it is what it is.
But you still look
Yeah, I
nice.
mean you still look nice, but if you single and you outside in a bonnet, like you might not attract the type of man you think you gonna want.
Right. And
So
I will say this too. You guys, I have seen, I think like 3 people have inboxed me. Hi, thank you for tuning in. I have seen your message and I will respond to you after show. Like I can't respond to you. Look at your comment. We'll talk about it after show. But yes, I will get back with everybody who has inboxed me right after we're done talking.
I can respond to one right now. Somebody said, "How do you do your live background?" Let me show you how we do the live background. Your audience is ready for a professionally produced Facebook Live video.
Come through, honey. Come
I
on.
am the Facebook Live specialist. I'm just messing with y'all. No, but for real though, like, I'm not giving that away. So, yeah.
But hey, Kinston, I will inbox you after the podcast, and you and Carl can talk, and maybe we can have you come down to Atlanta when you visit with your brother, and get you hooked up for some sessions. Praise the Lord for a small economical fee. God bless. Okay. Anyway, but the hair bonnets, hair bonnets do matter, and even what, even if you have a hair bonnet, honey, nowadays you can put them African hair wraps, jazz it up, beat your face, put your earrings on, and you still can go out looking good. There's ways to work around this thing. There are ways to work around this thing. And like Carl said, when you're at home, there's a way that you can casually dress that is still cool and nice representation. Of course, when you have friends come over, clean it up, make it look a little better. But yes, I mean, and even there's certain things that even I will say, like Carl said, even as him being my husband, I'll see something that he'll put on. I'm like, no, baby, that don't look good on you. And it's not that I don't want him to wear it, but I don't want, first of all, I'm not trying to be embarrassed. And let's just be honest. When you're with somebody, you don't want to be embarrassed. At the end of the day, you don't want to be embarrassed. So I wouldn't want him to put on something and I know that doesn't look good. And then he walk out in public and people talking about him. I do myself a disservice. And if I say I love him and I honor him and I respect him, I want him always to give the best impression, even with haircuts. I joke with him all the time. I'm like, baby, it's just an anointing about you when you get your hair cut and you do your little face cleansing mask and all that. Like, you just illuminated in chocolateness. Like, you look wonderful. When he don't get a haircut and he looks dusty, I just be like, oh, God. Same way with me. He can tell you. If I have a certain wig on or a certain hair, he be like, Ebony, I don't like that. Please don't wear that. But if I put on a certain hairstyle or put on something, he like, yes, like it's okay. And it's okay that you should have that comfortability level with your spouse, that we should be able to talk about it and be adult about it. Now, when y'all getting into yelling and arguing and screaming, something's wrong. And if it's a thing of you just don't want to give up control because of you've dealt with men who have been controlling or women that have been controlling in your past, then we need to address some past issues.
And everything ain't hating on you, man. Like,
yes,
trust me, your spouse should have your best interest.
right.
And if they tell you, look, I know you've been wearing this for years, but you don't look right in that. Like, you get more compliments when you wearing your hair like this, and you got to break that down to them. Like, we do it to each other. Like, listen, you get more notice, you get more compliments when your hair is like this or when you wear this color or whatever. It ain't working for you. So I'm just, I may be the first one to tell you. Your friends ain't going to tell you because they just look at you and be like, oh, that's just them. But, like, seriously, everything ain't hating on you. Everything ain't you just jealous or, like, whatever. Like, you gotta bend a little bit, man. You gotta say, okay, like maybe this isn't working.
Right. And maybe, maybe it's this time of my life, I'm about to be churchy. Maybe it's this season of my life. Hallelujah. Sorry, I had to be retarded for a moment. Maybe this is the season of my life that I grow up. And I drop off, and certain things that I used to wear, even the Bible talks about it. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I did childish things. But then when I became a man, I had to change it up. And that scripture can apply to anything in your life, as far as the way you look, your presentation, the way you carry yourself. It can apply. It can apply across the board. When you didn't know, then I'll give you grace for your ignorance because you didn't know. Now that you do know, it's okay. What can I do to be better? I mean, I know people that go to thrift stores and get suits, take them to the dry cleaner, get them cleaned up. There's no excuse. Now if you don't know and you need help, there are people out here that have resources. There are community centers. I mean, job placement places that can help you. But I will say this, as a husband and wife, I do believe it is you owe your husband and wife that honor, that respect to tell you, baby, you got to do better.
Yeah.
And maybe not, you can't wear that. Honey, I prefer you not to look like that, because when you wear that, it leaves a certain impression.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And you have to be, like Carl said, you have to be mature enough. Like they said, speak the truth in love.
Justine, hold up,
Oh,
before
that's
Justine,
sweet.
Cassandra Oliver said we have to speak the truth in love to one another. Amen. I agree with that.
Right.
Justine said that like my husband says, I'm glad you took the weave out, and like you said, I've never gotten so many compliments on the hairstyle. That's real. Like, a lot of times, your spouse should see the best in you and try to encourage you to look your best. Like, some people look better with weave than they do the natural hair.
True.
Some people, natural hair look better.
Right.
You just have to have a spouse that's honest with you and be like, babe, you look better with your natural hair. Like, when you wear your natural hair, you get so many compliments. You get, like, people love it. Just pay attention. If you think I'm lying, if you think I'm just saying that, just pay attention. And so you have to know how to lace your words. You have to know how to don't just come out and say they don't look right. Like, why you wearing that? Like, you have to know how to finesse your words. Like, just,
and maybe explain to them. See, I'm all about words. Like, you gotta, some stuff for me, I need to break down. Like, and it drives Carl crazy, but eventually, he's catching the vision after almost a year. I'm like, what doesn't look right? And you might have to be very specific with the person that you're with. Like, yes, I know you may be used to wearing this, but this is why this doesn't look right on. This is why this doesn't look right on you. Mm-hmm. And again, like you said, lace your words with love, but lace your words with kindness, because I know they used to say sticks and stones may hurt, may break my bones, where words will never hurt me. No, words do hurt. Words have the power to build up, and words have the power to build down. And it could be coming from a very honest and sincere place. But if you don't say it right, you have the possibility to castrate your partner. And you might have been meaning it with the greatest intentions of this world, but the way your delivery came across, they're like, I feel like crap. And my mom used to tell me one thing too. And let me give Sister Mama Naila Jones. She runs the SS unit at Harvest Time Church here in Riverdale, Georgia. And they have a great, when I tell you about their SSU unit, looks like a department store. Oh my God. So her name is Naila Jones. She is on here. If you or your children or yourself need shoes or clothing, please go check her out. You can inbox her. She'll give you the hours. They bless people all the time. But my mom used to always say, if you're going to give a word of criticism about why you don't like something that your spouse wears, back it up with the money to go say, baby, I'm going to buy it. There has never been a time, and Carl Butler can attest to this, that if I say I don't like something that he wears, best believe the next day, or when I get a check or extra money, I will go get him. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you told me not to bump the mic. It was an accident. Best believe the next day, or when I get a check, I will go get him something that I want to see him in, or something that I think will make him look more presentable or more nice. And I never, when my mom used to say that, because I used to be like, well, daggone, that's expensive. But I'm like, you know what? My husband is my investment, and I'm not saying like that's expensive, because Carl knows I don't care about spending money. But I do believe, I do believe in investing in people, and I do believe investing in who I care about. And I care about my husband, and I care about the way he presents himself, and I care about the doors that God is going to open for him. So I'm all right with investing in him. Why? Because I know if I invest in him, he's going to invest in me. I'm going to get my return because I'm going to get to see the doors. I'm going to be next to him when he walks through those doors, and we're going to walk in those doors together. So if you're going to criticize your spouse, best believe have the finances and the resources together to be able to sow back into them to get the result that you want. Don't sit there and dog them about their hair being nappy, about you need to take better care of yourself. You need to get your nails done. You need to get your teeth fixed. You need to buy a girdle. You need to do all this stuff, and you're not investing in them.
And okay, what came to mind
I hope y'all heard me.
is
And if y'all did, give me some thumbs up because that touched me. That blessed me.
so what came to mind when she said that your words can castrate your partner. Time mark this. This is we are an hour and 4 minutes in. If you have any men friends, any males who you know have done this, I want you to show them this video at an hour and 4 seconds in. What you should never do in your criticism of what your spouse wear. And men are notorious for this. What you should never do, never, ever, ever do, is look at another woman and say to your wife, you need to look like that. Or why don't you look like that? Or you need to ask her, what is she doing? Because she be bad every Sunday. Like,
you want to lose your life.
Don't do that.
You want to lose your life.
Don't compare your spouse to someone. And it works both ways.
Right.
You know, women don't look at another man and be like, oh, he be fine every Sunday. He be sharp every day. We don't want to hear that. You can suggest, we change our style. We can suggest. Right. And so you have to be tactful in what you say. Right. You have to be tactful in what you say. You have to be cautious in how you criticize. But, you know, you should criticize. Your criticism should come after a compliment. You know, those are two C's. Let your criticism come after a compliment. Compliment, then criticize. I don't know how to break it down, but no. So what we're saying is, we're not trying to be dictators. You know, you can't be a dictator in your relationship or in your marriage. You have to suggest and explain to your spouse why they may look better in something else, right, or why something doesn't look right on them. You know, you can't just say they don't look right, take it off, throw it away.
Right. They'd be like,
yeah, you can't
wrong?
Do that because we all want to feel like we have equal say so in this relationship. And so, you know, and we got in trouble for this one time, but you know, we always talk about how the Bible says that wives submit yourselves to your husbands. The Bible also says husbands have to submit to their wives, also. And so, and that doesn't mean you're not the head of the household. It just means that in some areas I have to submit to Ebony because I'm not good with paying bills on time. I have the money. I make the money. I'll call and say, hey, the money's in the account. Pay what you need to pay. Or she'll tell me I need this in the account by this date and the money's going to be there. But in certain areas, I have to submit myself to her because I'm not good in those areas. That doesn't take away from my headship. Come on now. But, you know, you just have to humble yourself coming into a relationship and just say, we're here to help each other. We're not here to compete against one another. We're not here to see who can do better, who can look better, who can dress better. No, we're in this together. When you look good, I look good. When I look good, you look good. When you succeed, I succeed. When we do this thing together. Like by myself, I could afford an apartment and a car. Mary, I can afford a house and 3 cars. Like when we team up, we're much better when we team up. So that's all we're saying. Like we're not trying to tell you how to run your relationship. We always say these words: do what works for you. Do what works for you.
But if you see it not working, then you need to realize, you know what, there's room to be improved, and it's okay. And if you've been doing it wrong, go to your spouse in humility and love and say, you know what, babe, I have done some of the stuff that they've talked about, and I'm sorry, because sometimes you might not know. Like, there's been times I've had to, eat humble pie and apologize to Carl. And no, all the time apologizing doesn't feel good. But you know what? I want him to know that I care about him and I want to do better and I want to keep him because um, our pastor always he says, it's so funny. He's like, the person that you might be thinking about throwing out, honey, they waiting for you. They waiting for you to be like, I don't want them no more. And it might be over something. You might be willing to throw that person out over something stupid that the next woman or man will get them and scoop them up and be like, baby, was that all? I can handle that. I can deal with that. And now you sitting in the corner crying and rocking and they moving on with their life all because you know what? You didn't lace your words with kindness or you didn't say something right or it's something that you could have dealt or handled it a little bit better. So like Carl said,
they already got a game plan together. Look, I'm telling you, some people are watching your relationship
right.
And they say if she ever let him go or if he ever let her go, they already got a playbook drawn up. They already got a game plan. They already say, I'm going to help them do X, Y, Z. Right. I see this and that. I'm telling you, like, you got to step back. You got to
like,
stop.
You're not the only one that saw good in the person that you with.
Like, you not, I heard it in the song one time, like, you're not the only one trying to be the only one.
Look at you. Look at you, like,
Mr.
R&B.
That's real. Like,
that's real.
You ain't the only one trying to be the only one. So you better make sure that you on your A game. You better make sure that you look
what you about to say?
You look like where you want to go. You look like who you want to be. You want to be a spouse, better look. You better start looking like one. So yeah. Anyway, so the Loveless Marriage.
We have to do a shameless plug for our upcoming event.
Yes.
June the 30th.
It's on the screen right now.
It is on the screen. Mr. David Burris will be in the ATL with us at the University of Clayton State University, June 30th. Please go to Eventbrite now and purchase your tickets, 2 for $25 or 1 for $15. We're looking for you guys to come out. We want to have a really great time to meet and greet you all and to connect and to hug and love on y'all and just to have a good time fellowshipping. You don't have to be married. So this isn't just for married couples. You can be married, single, divorce, praying to God keeps, this might be the event that God put your relationship back together. We want, whomever, please come out and join us and support us. We're not trying to tax you, steal your money. We want you guys to come out and get some helpful advice from a very well-known speaker, author, teacher, preacher, and a very nice man overall. Like Carl and I say, we don't like people that jerks. We don't, because we'll call you on it in a minute. And it's Mr. David Burris is a very nice man.
Yeah, we'll call you in a minute because I got some folks I'm waiting to call out. I'm just not. I just ain't made the amount of money I need to make in order to call people out. As soon as I do, I'm call
whatever.
folks.
We don't have that petty. We don't have that petty ministry. But David Burris, he is a very well known relationship advice expert. He is married as well, so he's a Christian man. Like we said, preacher, teacher, author. Great speaker. He's actually out on he's on a tour right now. So we want you guys to come to the ATL, even if it's for a weekend, come hang out with us. And we hope you have a good time with us.
Yeah. So we appreciate you all for tuning in. We see all the comments. We do go back through and
hi everyone. Don't want to be rude.
Respond to all the comments. We appreciate you all. And please hit us up during the week on Facebook, Ebony M. Butler, on Facebook, Carl E. Butler Jr., or The Purpose Merchant on Instagram. Also, as you can see there on the screen, follow us at The Loveless Marriage across all social media platforms. Please subscribe and like the video. Listen, if this video has blessed you, if it's encouraged you, please share the video. Hit that share button. I think the share button is like right there on your phones. Yeah, just down this way on your phones. It's somewhere. Hit that share button so that we can spread this message to more people. We appreciate you all for tuning in. As you can see on our ticker down below, join us every Monday at 8 p.m. for the Loveless Marriage. We appreciate you all for tuning in, and we will see you all next Monday. Also, please send us topics that you want to see discussed on the Loveless Marriage. This topic was sent to Ebony
Yes.
by someone. They said that you all should talk about this, and so we talking about it.
Right.
And so, yeah, we want to have y'all input.
It was a good conversation, and we again, we love inviting you into our little world every Monday at 8 o'clock, and we are blessed and humbled that you all want to take your time out of your busy Monday evening to unwind and relax and eat popcorn. And I'm about to go eat some nachos and drink some juice and chill.
Hey, Sharon.
On this
Sharon
Monday.
says hello.
But yes, and let's go through the list just to tell everybody hi, because we don't want to think y'all we're being rude.
Cassandra, hey, Shayla. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Miss Hairston. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that's Shayla.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Selena.
It's Andrea.
Miss Marquet, Chloe.
Tibria.
Bishop Stephen Houghton Sr.
Naila.
Nice to see you, Bishop, as always. Mother Naila, Nicole
Pastor Bill
Jenkins.
Holmes.
Tibria, Andrea, Kim King Channy,
Kim.
Cassandra. Hi. We love you all. Mother Cudgel, Mother Mildred.
DeQuita.
Mother Donna Good, Marquita Laughlin from
Alexander.
Ohio.
Alexander. Justine,
Angela, Tibria, Mocha, my brother-in-law. Stephen was on here. My brother Steve.
Gary was on for a while.
Gary was on. Malaysia Petty. I will answer you. I will come to Ohio and visit one day. I don't know which day, but one day I do plan on coming back to my Ohio family, Diana Pleasant, my coworker, Alexander Price. But honestly, we really do appreciate it. We don't take it for granted that you guys decide to take your time out. And again, if you honestly are looking for a professionally produced Facebook Live, hit my husband up, Carl Butler. You guys ask me questions. I absolutely do not know what he does. I sit in the bed and I ask him to get off of it, get off of the laptop or whatever he does, because it gets on my nerves. So I want to spend time with him. But it's his passion, so I let him do whatever he want to do. So if you have questions about this broadcast, I don't know what he does. And I'm not lying to you. He does it. I come, I sit down, we keep it moving. But you can join, become his friend, hit him up on Facebook, Carl E. Butler Jr. Also, you can catch him on Tuesday as he produces Bishop Joel Trout's The Elevation Church on Tuesday night here in our studio, 7 o'clock. And actually, he's going to start producing more preachers to come. So you guys will see. So God has really blessed him and given him the grace to start expanding his business. And I can't wait to see what you guys get to see as well.
Sister Evangelist Rosalind on. Kim, we appreciate that. Really enjoyed the topic. Hopefully, Kim, give us a topic for next week.
Yeah, you too, Evie. I missed you, Evie.
Yeah, so y'all submit y'all topics for next week.
Yeah, I would love to hear from y'all.
Yeah, so we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're here every Monday at 8. We try to give you at least an hour. We can talk for longer than that, but we cut it off at an hour.
Yes.
And so we appreciate y'all. Listen, we may not be here every Monday because, as y'all know, Ebony's pregnant. So
I'm gonna do my best.
So if she don't feel like doing nothing, I can't do nothing. Like,
what?
I can't do nothing.
That's not true. I'm gonna feel good. Look, pray for us, because tomorrow we find out if it's 1 or 2, and we only pray that it is 1. Hey, Ryan. But yeah, we only pray for 1. If God gives us 2, I think we might come on and do an extra podcast, because we will be laughing hysterically. But yes, Evie, hit us up with some topics, honey, because I know you got some juicy stuff floating around in your brain. But yeah, so pray for us tomorrow. We get to go see our little person on the big screen ourselves. So we're excited. So pray for us, guys.
Yeah. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all back here next Monday at 8 p.m. for the Loveless Marriage.
Good night, guys.